Hey, what's up, guys? DrFeelGood here, back again with another video prescription. And I want to talk about fighting games. I like fighting games. I don't love them, but I like them. Um, what brings this up is the recent announcement, trailer, and gameplay of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. Now, I like the Marvel vs. Capcom franchise. I have 1 and 2. I played 3. Didn't care for it much. But the issues I'm having, not necessarily with Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite, but just with fighting games overall as of late, at least most of them, but not all, is that there's a huge focus on having tons of characters. And I'm pretty sure this is to appease the fans that want their favorite characters in the game. There's nothing wrong with that, but the bigger your roster, to me, the more imbalanced the game is. Excuse me. Having issues with my throat. But anyway, it is hard as hell to balance out a fighting game that has dozens of characters. And in attempting to balance a game with the huge roster out, a common thing that ends up happening is that we get basically duplicates and palette swaps. Prime example, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Probably one of the biggest rosters of fighting games, period. I actually like the roster. We got a lot of characters that we have never seen before, never ever came stateside from the respective games or franchises. It was a great roster, but it was also not so great. Why? 2 Wolverines? Really? There was regular Wolverine and Bone Claw Wolverine. Their regular attacks were virtually identical. Their special moves were virtually identical. The only difference is I think one had 3 hyper moves, the other had 2. But, and of course, the only visual difference is that Bone Claw Wolverine had longer claws. That's it. But you also had the Shotokan fighters like Ryu and Ken, Akuma, Dan, Sakura. Just all those characters basically have the same damn move set. You may change around the moves slightly, give it different properties, but it's essentially the same. And hell, even outside of those, look at Cyclops. He was nothing but the Marvel version of Ryu. That's it. Even Cable, giving him the scimitar uppercut, that was just another version of the Dragon Punch. It really was. So you see what I mean by palette, like duplicates and palette swaps. And that game was horribly imbalanced. Combo characters such as Strider, Wolverine, and Spider-Man, they sucked ass, and I love those characters. They were my mains. The reason why is because you had to do long, extensive combos to even remotely do the same amount of damage as one of Cable's Viper beams. And to me, it was very unbalanced. The game catered towards those that love to spam projectiles and beams. It really did. You had a team of Cyclops, Cable, and Iron Man. Even they blocked your attacks, they still took a lot of damage. But anyway, when you have that many characters in a fighting game, most of them their purpose is to compensate for another character's shortcomings. Like, in my opinion, Ken has and will always be just a faster and or more agile, but weaker version of Ryu. That's it. He's a little faster. He's a little bit weaker. He's Ryu with combo potential, basically. And I mean combo in terms of moves hidden multiple times, easier to connect. But that's basically it. His moves have more range, but less power. So to balance him out in a sense, what they did is make it to where his moves only take more damage when you connect with it 100%. That means every single hit. His Dragon Punch has to hit all 3 times to do as much, if not more, damage than Ryu's. And that's a great way to balance the game. But still, they're essentially the same characters. They changed them around over the years, especially when given Street Fighter 3, Street Fighter 5, and things like that. But still, he's just a flashier, faster, but weaker version of Ryu. And then you have characters that, to me, they just shouldn't even have duplicates. Why was there Roll and Mega Man in Marvel vs. Capcom 2? There's no purpose. Their super moves were the same. I think a lot of the special moves were similar as well. And to me, it's like there was no purpose. But I'm pretty sure some fan wanted that, or maybe they were trying to just show how flexible they could be with the roster. But to me, that's not flexibility. That's laziness. It's that simple. It's laziness. The gene splice of Cyclops. Why? Give him something different. You even gave him a lame ass hurricane kick. I mean, do something different. Iron Man and War Machine, come on now, that's overkill. It really is. I just really think that we need to go back to the basics. Go back to 10, maybe 20 character rosters and focus on those characters. Stop trying to make small variations of primary characters to appease a fan that, for example, may love Ryu but doesn't like the fact that he's a little slow or doesn't have much combo potential. That may, I don't know, love Wolverine but wish he has a little more range. That may, I don't know, that may like Iron Man but wish he could shoot the beam high and low, so they made War Machine. Now, I'm not saying that's the reason why they did it, but you get my point. People need to learn how to deal with the character's shortcomings. And the same thing goes to Smash Brothers. I love the Smash Brothers franchise. It's my favorite of all of them. However, I don't care what the competitors say, the competitive scene, and the levels of the game are, that game had a bunch of duplicates too. Not as many as Marvel vs. Capcom, but yeah, it did. I mean, Falco, Fox, and Wolf were in Brawl. Now, I know their specials were slightly different. Even their regular attacks were different. I get that. But still, essentially, they were the same character. Falco was a fox with better jump potential. He had a better regular jump, and he was slightly more powerful. That's it. Wolf, the same thing. Wolf was a Falco with a weaker jump, but more power. It's as simple as that. Mario and Luigi, they're essentially the same. Luigi has a much higher regular jump, much higher. But they basically had the same attacks. Luigi's fireball would go on a horizontal plane regardless if it's shot in air or not. Mario's fireball basically fell victim to gravity. Only differences, but they're the same essentially. And goes to Dr. Mario. That makes 3. It just, to me, if you focus on a smaller roster, you don't have the need for duplicates. See, to me, Luigi, who was a secret or unlockable character in the first Smash Brothers, he was basically for the person that liked Mario but wanted him to have a better jump, a floatier jump maybe. That's it. And I've known people that say that they like Luigi for that reason, that his jump is a little higher and a little more floaty. They like Mario, but there's something they don't like about him, or they wish he had something better of, and it's that. To me, they do this to compensate for another character's shortcomings, and I just think it's a waste of time. I miss the days when almost every character in the game was vastly different. I miss that. But now they give Iron Man a Unibeam, and they give Cable a Viper Beam. And then they give someone else, I don't know, a shitty beam, but it does the same thing. In my opinion, the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 roster, although it had, I believe, a total of 56 characters, it really only had about maybe 35 to 40 if you take out all the duplicates and palette swaps. That's really all it had. Same can be said about Marvel vs. Capcom 3. Now, let me talk about Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. First off, I'm going to piss off the haters. Or should I say the fans of that franchise. Their CGI trailer, although cool, was garbage at the same time. That did nothing for me. It did nothing for me. I'm not swayed by CGI trailers like most people. You want to call me a hater, that's fine. It did nothing for me. You want to show me Iron Man, Mega Man, or whatever fighting in a CGI trailer, that's fine. It doesn't mean that it has no bearing on what the game is going to be like. It really doesn't. So there's that. The gameplay trailer I saw actually got me slightly interested. Slightly. It appears they went back to 2 versus 2, which I'm happy about. The 3 versus 3 thing, it was never really cool to me. I dealt with it, but I never really thought it was cool. My favorite Marvel vs. Capcom has always been the first one, because to me it was also the most balanced. But the 2 versus 2 was a lot simpler. 3 versus 3 just gave birth to spamming assist partner attacks. That's all it did. Marvel vs. Capcom 1, you had dedicated assist partners to choose from. And you're going to use them a certain amount of times throughout the match. Don't give a damn if you missed all of them or not. You can only use them a certain amount of times. And if you did not know the button combinations to get the one you preferred, it was random. But Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 3, all they do is just spam assist partner crossover. They just use them to spam projectiles over and over the attacks. And to me, the game is just too busy. Not that I can't keep up, but it's just too busy. It's too much going on. It needs to be simplified. And I really do hope they have gone back to 2 versus 2, which it seems they have. And I really do hope they've gotten out of the calling your partner in a limited amount of times to throw out an attack. And it seems they borrowed a little something from Tekken Tag, allowing you to do some type of crossover combo where you're tagging your partner to finish a combo off. I like that. So it's looking okay based on that trailer. I'm not hype. I will tell you now. I'm not a competitive player by any means, but I'm not hype. But from what I've seen, it looks like they're going back to the roots. So I will give Capcom a clap. I will give them credit for that. They seem to be going back to the roots. And that's a good thing. I hope they stay away from the 3-on-3 from here on out. I really, really do. But yeah, anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know if you're hyped it out. I'm pretty sure a lot of you are. And let me know what the rest you think fighting games should go in. Do you think should continue on their current path of being super flashy and 3 versus 3 and all the palette swaps and duplicates, or should they go back to the basics where they have a few characters, very, very well balanced. Everyone plays differently. And, just let me know what you think. And as always, keep it gaming.